All right, welcome back above the clouds. This is a little series I'm doing. Uh, Basically, today what I wanted to do is work on this character. Let me change the screen real quick. Uh, but yeah, today I wanted to work on this sketch I had of my character Avi. I have this sketch I did probably a few weeks ago that I just want to work on and see if I can like tighten the sketch and really get this kind of like character design laid out for this character. Because I like the pose I did for her, but now I actually want to go in and design her actual outfit. So I've got the reference up, some reference pictures up over here on the side. I'm gonna use to help me out. The pictures I'm using are all from Pinterest. I don't know if I'm probably not gonna finish this sketch up and create a complete illustration, finished illustration or anything, but I actually want to just try to figure out what I can do to get better at character design and costume design and stuff. Before this, I was warming up, just doing some figure drawing and stuff here on quick poses. But now I actually want to just, like I said, work on this. Most of these videos I'm doing of the Above the Clouds series is me working on my personal projects and these characters, this world that these characters live in. Let me see. Yeah, just me working on this world of characters, this kind of universe I've created, and using the reference to my advantage. This character Avi, the more and more I work on her, the more and more I work on the story and the characters in this world, the more I want to make her more of a stealthy character, and so that's what I'm gonna keep in mind when I'm drawing her design right now. And like I'll probably redesign her a few more times even after this if I don't like this sketch and how it comes out. But for now, I'm gonna try and do my best and get something I can use for like a character design sheet or something. I'm not too worried about making a final either, actually, because I'm just having fun drawing. Um, and this world is more of like a fantasy kind of world, medieval fantasy type of world. So I want to make her a more stealthy character, more quiet character in the story. I guess not quiet. She's like one of the main characters. So, but yeah, just stealthy, more stealthy individual. I don't know why she would have this like a belt strap on her back right there. I don't think that's necessary. Something like that. That's cool. And I'm looking at these reference images, and the one thing I really want to get down is like the accessories and the belts and the buckles and all that. So I'm just gonna stay loose with my drawing. And one thing I gotta work on is I just gotta remember that it's all in layers. Just like you draw in layers, you add clothing in layers, from the shirt to the pants, and then to the what's on top of that, belts and buckles and bags and stuff like that. So I just got to keep that in mind when I'm working on this, because this buckle kind of goes like that and it goes behind it again. Trying to figure this out. Something like that. Something like that. That looks pretty good. I think her weapon of choice would be a dagger. And so I want to try and fit that in her design somewhere on her belt, as well as a bag as well. So the bag will probably be like right here, or a pouch, some type of pouch or a bag, something like that. In this reference picture, she has like a cloth on. I think I want to try that out. Let me see. Try something like that out. See if that looks good. I'll probably finish this up later as well whenever I get this sketch done. And I'm liking this so right now. This looks pretty cool. Looks pretty good, pretty cool. Pretty good. Let's see. Okay, that's cool. I like it. And I could also play with the shape right here as well. That triangle shape of the hair with the handkerchief right here. Or what is it called? Bandana? Whatever it's called. Play with that shape here as well. That looks pretty cool. Probably just do like this. Yeah, something like that. I like that. That's cool. And when I think of like stealthy characters, my mind just goes straight to like a ninja. But it could be like an assassin or just a spy, something like that. So when I'm thinking of her in the story and how she fits in the story, I feel like she's more of like a spy character more than anything. The dagger is just to protect herself whenever she needs to. So like I'll put the bag here, but we're not gonna have that dagger. I think I want to have her holding it. So maybe I put the arm up like this, and then have her holding on onto it this way. That looks pretty good already. See if I can adjust it so it kind of makes sense. Just have her like resting her arm on her leg here. This pose. And then she's holding onto her dagger. I think that could be pretty cool. And this arm, I probably have to make that a little bit longer. Yeah, that's dope. I like it. I like how it's coming out. And now, like her leg kind of has a reason to be out. Like before, she was just sitting in that pose, but now this looks a little bit better. I like the way her arm is interacting with her leg here, instead of them both being on the ground, or both hands being on the ground. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool, pretty fire. Now I gotta get some reference on somebody holding a dagger. But I could probably sketch something out that looks good. Let me see. So, dagger's gonna be like right here, the hilt, right there, something like that. Oh wait, no, other way. Yeah. Maybe that's just the design of the dagger, something like that. Whoa, what? Right here. That's the leg right there. Then her dagger. That looks pretty good. I like that. For a sketch, that's pretty cool. Just drawing these knuckles and the fingers. And yeah, this is pretty much what what this series of videos is gonna be about. Me working on this project and like these series of characters. So Avi, Anuki, Pumari. If you watch some of my other videos, you probably heard me talk about those characters a lot. And even that hand looks pretty good. I'm starting to get really confident in drawing hands. Been practicing that a lot more lately. And wonder what it would look like if she like had bandages on her arm for some reason, like a wrap around her hand. Pretty cool. I like it. I like it. Maybe this hand has a glove. She wears a glove on this hand, maybe. And I'm just experimenting, having fun with it. And I just wanted to make this video just to share the process as well. having fun sharing the process. Looks good. Something about that glove doesn't look right. Doesn't look good to me. Not sure why, but I'm gonna keep it for now. The next part would be to move on to the pants, probably. And the more and more I start developing these characters in the world that they live in, the more I don't want this character, or I want Avi to have a brother. Like when I was first starting this story and these characters, it's funny because Avi's name was Athena at first. But in the very beginning, I always wanted her to have a brother. And so now, recently, I've actually started exploring more of that and seeing how I can introduce or like create and design a character that fits well with this character, Avi, because I created her first. And so now what I want to do is like create a character for her brother. The more and more I look at the dagger, the more and more I like it. Let me make like some small kind of I shouldn't say bruises, but you wouldn't call something like that on a piece of metal a bruise. So it's like breaks in a sword. I don't know what to call it. Like a worn down piece of metal. Doing some shading. Clip Studio has really turned into my favorite drawing program. I remember when I first started drawing, I started in like Medibang and Krita. That's just because that was what was available to me, what was free. But when I first got into Clip Studio and learned about it, I definitely found it a little bit easier to use. But I haven't used Krita or Medibang in a while. They're both dope software. That's what I was using when I was first drawing on my first drawing tablet. I've always liked this like strand in her hair right there. Maybe it's like a different color or something. I always liked that. And the more and more I look at the bandana right here, the more I like it. Because it follows a shape harmony with the triangles in her hair right here and the sharp forms it creates. So I just want to keep that going in the design. Let me draw this bag. One thing that's helped me create these poses and draw characters like this in these poses is studying perspective. Perspective and drawing, what's it called? Or figure drawing. There it is. What else do I have? Do I have a picture of a bag in here anywhere? I guess this is the only one up there. I'm kind of trying to follow that. But yeah, perspective and figure drawing. Two things that really have helped me get better at drawing characters. The more and more I learn about perspective, the more and more I learn that it applies to drawing characters just as much as it applies to drawing backgrounds. And so I haven't looked at it flip in a minute. I'm just looking at it real quick. I was kind of surprised at how it looked at first, but it looks good flipped. I always want to make sure it looks good. But what was I saying? Perspective. Perspective. The more I study perspective, the more I learn that it can apply to characters just as much as backgrounds and landscapes. And so I'm trying to apply that where I can in my characters and stuff. Drawing belts is interesting. But there's so many details in the belt that you have to draw. And things you have to get right to make it look right. But it looks good. That looks good. Let me do this instead. Let me draw one dot here, or one hole here and one hole there. No, let me just get rid of this and then draw it. But other than sketching, like in perspective, I really want to get better at my line art as well and coloring. I don't want to be so flat with my colors, even though that can be a good style. I want to kind of try and experiment with shading and gradients and stuff like that in the characters that I draw. I think that arm is too long. It looks too long. I'm gonna shorten that. Make this forearm a bit longer. Something like that. It's fine for now, but I still think it's a little bit too long. Alright, looking good so far. Like I said, I wanted to limit myself with the reference I have, because I don't want to use too much and like confuse myself and have too many designs to, or too many pictures to work with. It sounds like when I first thought of using reference, I thought of like using as many as possible to my advantage, but I think it's probably better if you only choose like a few at a time to use. That way you can focus on a little bit and then move on towards a lot if you want to. This arm's still bothering me, but I'm gonna leave it alone for now. I think it's fine. It looks fine. I'm just tripping. Let me move on to the actual pants. Let me see. So I got this picture up for reference. That looks cool. I like how it has that flap on the back of it. Maybe I can apply that back here somehow. So how would I do that? Do something like this. And then like that. And then that does look pretty cool. A lot of times when I think about stealthy characters, they always have these cloaks and these hoods and stuff. And so I kind of want to incorporate that in her design here in this picture as best as I can. The hard thing though about this is how it's going to interact with her sitting down. I have an idea. It's going to like fold in the back like that somehow. Wish I had a reference picture of somebody sitting down with like a cloak on or something, but I'm going to do my best to see if I can draw it or just sketch it real quick. It's going to be something like that, because I know there's going to be a lot of folds on the ground because it's getting folded and scrunched up from her sitting down on it. So it's going to be something like that. But this is exactly why you need reference for stuff like this, because it's hard to predict how something is going to act, especially pieces of clothing and armor and stuff like that. So instead of predicting stuff, we get some reference for it. I don't have reference, so I'm just predicting stuff. But I like how it's looking in the back right there. Let me look again. I'm gonna save it real quick. But what I want to do is look at where I started and where I'm at now, and just see my progress. I don't know if that's more of a dagger or if that's more of a sword, but it looks pretty cool. Either way, this is a big dagger. I think daggers come more to a point. So that probably would be a sword. It looks cool either way. I think I do want to adjust it so it comes more into a triangular point. Oh, and see, that way it it's similar to the other forms in the character's design. So instead of having this kind of shape, it can have more of a triangle shape, like everything else has with this character and in her design. So let me try that, because I think that'll be a little bit more interesting. Let me try it. I think that does work better, actually. The more I look at it, I think it does work. So now I just got to figure out the perspective. See, that's what I'm saying. Perspective is in everything, even how this dagger acts with this character. Foreshortening, all that. I can't foreshorten it too much, otherwise it's going to look too short. So I'm going to do something like this. Maybe. I'm going to stay zoomed out, but I like that. Then maybe I could do something like that. Because a lot of the daggers that I've seen, just like pictures of and stuff, they come to a point like that at the hilt. Kind of skinny too. That's one thing I want to kind of get across, is that it's a more skinny weapon. It's gonna be smaller too, so I don't need to bring that part that far out. Probably keep it like that. Just make this bigger, like this. So this is looking pretty cool so far. Do that and just move that like that. Oh, that's fire. This is fire. Yeah, that's dope. I like that. Just gotta fix it up here a little bit more. Okay. Looking good. Let me add her nose in. There we go. A little bit better. There's a bunch of little stuff I could be fixing too right now, but I don't want to try and focus on that too much. I want to try and move on to the hair, or not the hair, the pants. Because I was actually doing pretty good with the folds, I think, in the back, because she's gonna be sitting on it, so it's gonna fold up on the ground like that. Looks pretty good. How's it gonna come to an end like that, or something? Let me move like this. Yeah, something like that. Come to an end like that, and then it wraps around over here, and then it bunches up again. So now I gotta figure this part out. The more and more I draw these characters, the more fun I have. The more I want to keep working on these characters and developing the story for it, and just continue to work on it. Let's see. This dagger can probably use like something like this. That was cool. Whatever. That's cool for now. But basically, I'm trying to figure out how this flap on these pants up here in the reference picture would react to somebody sitting down in them. So I'm gonna do my best to try and predict how that happens. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I think the key to drawing folds is just making it as simple as possible. As simple as you can make it, the better it looks. Because I'm really happy with how the cloth from the pants is looking. And so whenever I go in and I color it, I want to make sure that this part of the pants are here, and then this is the same color to indicate that it's the same fabric, part of the same cloth. And so now back here, do the same thing. This foot, I want to draw the boot as another layer. So right next to it, so he puts the shoe on. The shoe isn't skin tight, so make sure I convey that information. And now I can go back and erase the actual foot inside the shoe. And I can do this at the bottom of the boot. I keep calling it a shoe, a boot, whatever it's called. Whatever this thing is called. Whatever it's called. That's what it's called. That's pretty much it. I think that's it for the character design part of this. Next, I'm probably just gotta move on to the actual coloring and just finishing it up. But for some reason, this looks a little too big, so I'm just gonna fix that real quick. This looked a little too big. Now, great. Now it doesn't look right. I think it's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So now, let's do this. The foot folds, or the shoe boot folds. And that's pretty much it for that. Cool. Oh, that's the only thing I'm forgetting about is just the bag and the hand down here. But that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to make this video and sketch out my character Avi. For the next episode, it's definitely going to be the little title image I use. Yeah, for the title image, I use Pumari right here. This drawing I did of Pumari. I can definitely touch up on his design too, but in the next Above the Clouds episode, I'll probably have this finished, unless you guys want to see me finish this. I'll do that, and maybe that can be the next episode. A time-lapse video of me finishing this drawing, talking about it a little bit more. But yeah, it will definitely be my next title card image for this series, and hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, just hanging out with me drawing, and I will see y'all next time in the next Above the Clouds episode, whatever video comes up next, whatever I record next. So thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.